I want to ask you this before we continue. I want to ask my own question. I was talking to a buddy of mine this morning, actually. We were sending voice messages back and forth. He was telling me about some things he was going through. And, his attitude was more so, life is just hard. It feels like the universe is just coming down on me. And I basically responded. I was like, dude, you got to lean into accountability, man. Like, I haven't once heard you say that you didn't get that job at Tesla or whatever other place you're applying because of something that you did or maybe that you didn't do. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important for both, right? Men and women to keep themselves accountable. But obviously we are men and a lot of your content is serving men. And I think it's particularly important for men to hold themselves accountable and say, hey, maybe I didn't get that gig because I didn't do something, or maybe I didn't show up, I didn't come correct, I could have done something more or whatever. Or maybe you just didn't get it because there's someone else who was better qualified. Right. But what would you say to that person if they're coming to you, with that kind of attitude? Like, how do they change that?
Well, you keep moving forward. As a man, our only job is to keep moving forward on our mission. Every man needs a purpose, a mission, and a team. And this comes from my good friend, Will Brenham, who's a retired Navy SEAL. And in fact, when he left the SEAL teams, he thought that, all right, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to be successul, and then realized how difficult business is. And he was like, man, being a Navy SEAL was easier than starting a business, right? And so he's a great dude. And I go, what happened? He goes, I quickly fell into like a depression, and I was in a funk, and I was in a position where I just felt like I no longer had a mission, I no longer had purpose, and I no longer had a team. That is, by the way, whether you're a Navy SEAL, an entrepreneur, an employee, if you're a man, if you have a cock hanging between your legs, you need a purpose, mission, and a team. I'd argue to say that most women need the same thing. The difference is that women have built-in purpose because your body, at some point, your DNA is like, you should have a baby. Or when you do have a baby, you have a built-in mission and purpose. Like that baby, that human came from you. You gave birth to it, something that no man can do. I know Joe Biden and his crew says that men can have babies now, but you can't. You can't. And so women have built-in purpose. Men don't. So we must always be chasing our purpose, mission, and a team. So that leads to the next thing. Doesn't mean that just because you're chasing it or looking for it, you're going to find it right away, because life comes to us in winning seasons and losing seasons. I had been winning all the way up to March 16th, 2020. Like, I had a big winning streak for about 3-4 years. I had some physical injuries from lifting weights, etc., but business-wise, family-wise, everything-wise, I was winning. And then March 16th, 2020 came, the pandemic. And y'all know that the pandemic massively impacted gyms and restaurants in a very bad way. Fit Body Bootcamp lost 218 franchise locations in the year of 2020.
It's crazy.
We didn't bring on board any new locations in that time. Well, we brought on 6. That's nothing. To bring on 6 new locations in 1 year is nothing. We typically bring on 6 to 9 new locations per month. And so I found myself in a losing season. And it was 2020 and half of 2021. And then I found myself getting slowly back into a winning season. I've lived long enough where I know that life does come to me with winning seasons and losing seasons. And so now I've been in an awesome winning season. We are having record-breaking months and quarters here at Fit Body Bootcamp, selling more franchise locations than ever before. More people are opening Fit Body franchises than ever before. They're passionate about fitness. They're passionate about making money. They want to align with me. And what a great way to do it, right? Well, cool. And everything up until 2 weeks ago was going great. And then me and Andrew my son had a great chest workout. And then we put on the boxing gloves to spar. And then bam, our punches collided and my tricep tore right off the bone, the tendon, and it retracted 8 millimeters up. Now I'm in a bit of a losing season in life in my health and fitness category, but that's okay. I'm working around it. Is it fucking with my head a little bit? Yes, because I want to do heavy shoulder presses. I want to do big explosive movements like burpees, but I can't right now. But I am working around it. But I realize, again, I've lived long enough where I'm not owed anything. Your friend there is not owed anything. I'm going to keep chasing my mission, purpose, and do it with my team, right? But sometimes it'll take longer. Some like to say it's God's will. We're on God's timeline. You're on the universe's timeline. But understand that the life comes to us in winning seasons and losing seasons. And you might be in a losing season if you keep holding yourself accountable and moving forward, you will expedite the winning season that's guaranteed to come.
Right.
And when you're in a winning season, know that there's a losing season somewhere around the corner, because that is life.
Exactly.
Only dead people have consistent lives.